Okay, today, guys, we're going to do a quick overview of what's under the hood on everyday gut health. We're going to run through from top to bottom what's in this guy here, what are the main key ingredients to look out for, and more importantly, how it's going to help you. If you're watching this video, you may be struggling with digestive issues, with bloating, with indigestion, maybe you're foggy-headed, maybe you're fatigued all the time and lethargic. Whatever your issues around gut health, whether you look at a piece of bread and you find yourself bloated, this thing is going to be an absolute powerhouse. But let's explain why. So let's start from the very top. I've broken this down into headings for you if you're watching this video with each of the ingredients, because there's so many different areas we're tackling this product. It's a very comprehensive product. And the top part is heal and seal. What we're trying to do there is specifically talk to healing and sealing of the gut lining itself. And that's why we use two of my favorite ones for doing so, which is collagen and glutamine. Now, we didn't just use generics on those ones there, just generic every day of the week collagen or glutamine. We used Pepinex trademarked grass-fed, grass-finished collagen, and we used Ainamoto Japanese glutamine, which is naturally fermented pharmaceutical-grade glutamine. Now, both collagen and glutamine are structural proteins and amino acids that help to directly rebuild the gut lining, which is so crucial because through systemic inflammation, through stress, through poor diet, seed oils, not having enough fiber, not having enough diversity in our diet, through a whole host of environmental burden issues. Unfortunately, we're finding a lot of people have got a lot of issues with whether it's leaky gut, gut permeability, inflammation of the gut lining. So heal and seal is your number one priority. Fix the gut lining, re-heal that gut, stop that permeability. That's glutamine, collagen all day long. Next part down. Anti-inflammatories. Now, whenever we see gut health issues, we always see inflammation. The gut, 85% of our immune system lives in our gut, and when our gut gets inflamed and permeable and things start getting through from what we're drinking and eating and ingestion into our system, the immune system gets super overwhelmed and starts bombing it with really inflammatory compounds. And inflammation becomes this real sister symptom of gut health issues. Curcumin is one of the strongest natural anti-inflammatories known to man. It's phenomenally potent, and so is quercetin, which we've used alongside curcumin as well, because these two are radically potent at dropping inflammation in the gut and systemically, as well as having really strong antioxidant potential. Now, we've healed and sealed the gut, we've dropped some inflammation. The next thing you need to do is make sure we use our antimicrobials, which we have on here as the polyphenol matrix. Polyphenols are natural compounds that would otherwise help to kill off bad bugs in nature, right? So there'll be things like fruit peels that would stop bad bugs from getting in and actually eating the fruit. In here, we've got things like pomegranate peel extract, cinnamon bark extract, we have olive leaf extract, we have green tea extract. All these really strong polyphenols, we use 5, can help kill off the bad bacteria in our gut. They work as an antimicrobial, but they also nourish the good bacteria. So they're a really crucial part of this product here. So we're healing and sealing, dropping inflammation, killing off bad bacteria. And that's what we call part of our weed and feed. It's got heal and seal, weed and feed. That's the weeding part, is those polyphenols and antimicrobials. But we need to also do the feeding part. Now, our microbiome, which are the bacteria that live in our gut, which are responsible for, all of our neurotransmitter production, hormone production, metabolic function, all these great things, they live on fiber. Fiber is the fuel source that feeds your microbiome to thrive, and we need to have fiber in our diet. Now, the average Aussie has nowhere near enough fiber. It's about 18 to 20 grams a day is the average fiber intake for an Australian adult. Recommendation is a minimum 35 grams, ideally 45 grams of fiber a day. So we're a third to a half of the actual amount of fiber we need to have a diverse, healthy, thriving microbiome. We've used 5 different fibers, which are a mix of insoluble fiber, soluble fiber, and resistant starches, including the trademarked version Solnal, which is a resistant potato starch. Resistant starch is a beautiful fuel for the microbiome, but so are things like baobab, inulin, and we also have some partially hydrolysed guar gum. So PHGG is one of the favorite fiber sources from naturopaths because it's so well tolerated and feeds the microbiome so well. So we're doing the weeding and feeding as well to make sure we're feeding the microbiome whilst killing off the bad. Then the final piece, we need to make sure we're repopulating those good bacteria. So we have things like Akkermansia, Saccharomyces boulardii, we have Lactobacillus coagulans, we have lactospore, we have trademarked probiotics in here as well. We have a whole host of very beneficial bacteria designed to help restore the microbiome, restore a healthy balance. So we can go in there and kill off the bad with those really strong polyphenols, restore the good with the Akkermansias, the SBs, the lactospores, all of those great beneficial probiotics that help with metabolic function, blood sugar, insulin sensitivity. They help with overall, hormonal balance. They're phenomenally potent probiotic strains we've chosen by hand. Even things like, for example, Lactobacillus coagulans is naturally found in things like yogurts and cheeses and dairy. If you have issues with lactose, that's your new best friend. It's going to be super useful. Finally, the last piece of the puzzle is the mucosal layer. So we have the gut lining, which is a physical barrier to the outside world. Mucosal layer sits on top. and is where 70% of our immune system lives. So 85% surveils the old gut. Most of that lives in our mucosal layer, which is a fine layer that gets beaten away by that systemic inflammation, that chronic inflammation. Some of the supplements you can use to directly contribute to helping that is things like your licorice roots, your aloe vera roots, your slippery elms, using zinc carnosines. These things help rebuild that mucosal layer, and we have all of them in here at clinical dosages. So you got things to help with the mucosal layer, things to help with the gut lining with the heal and seal, dropping inflammation, weeding and feeding. We're killing off with the antimicrobials. We're repopulating with the those beneficial probiotics. Then we're rebuilding that mucosal layer on top. So we're making sure we're restoring balance as well. So this is not just a specialist product with niche applications. This hits every area you need to be concerned on if you're trying to improve your gut health.